Okay, so 3 less than 4 times this smaller number. And that just gives us 4 times a smaller number. 3 less than that is minus 3. Okay, so we have the two parts of our equation. Okay. Now we know when we see the word sum, that's just another way to say add. So we're just going to add those two together, and we know the sum is 7. Okay, so we know 4x plus 4x minus 3 equals 7. All right. So since this is plus, we know if we kind of distribute just a positive 1, we end up with 4x plus 4x minus 3 equals 7. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why I did that. 4x plus 4x. That should have been this one. Sorry about that. I'm looking like that's going to become an ugly fraction, then I realize where I messed up. All right, so we have x plus 4x, which gives you 5x. So you end with 5x minus 3 equals 7. So you just add 3 to both sides. Negative 3 plus 3 are opposite, so they cancel out. You get 5x equals 10. Divide both sides by 5. You get x equals 2. But remember, you have to find both numbers. So you don't want to stop right there. You also have 4x minus 3 that you have to find. Okay, we know x is equal to 2, so 4 times 2 minus 3, which gives us 5, or x equals 5. Okay, so all we have to do, we know x equals 2 and x equals 5. You have one number, so you have your smaller number. Is 3 less than 4 times the, well, the next number is 3 less than 4 times the larger number, or the smaller number. So 3 less than 4 times, which is 2. 4 times 2 would be 8. 3 less than that is 5, so it all kind of works out. All right, any questions on that one? All right. Okay, so let's say, for example, one number is 8 less than 3 times another number. If their sum is 20, oops, sorry about that, find the numbers. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to do this one. Anyone stuck? Okay, so for this one, first thing you want to do is you want to find that unknown number. So your unknown number, well, you can just make that x. And the next part is getting that little complicated section. 8 less than 3 times that unknown number. Okay, so we know we have our x. So we know that 3 times the unknown number is going to be 3x. Now, 8 less than 3 times the unknown number is just going to be 3x minus 8. Remember, that less than is always going to be minus or a subtraction. When you see more than, then you're going to have plus. Well, they said another number, unknown number. Minus 8. Go. So we have our x, we have our 3x minus 8. We know that their sum, so if we add those two together, is going to equal 20. So we know that x plus 3x minus 8 is equal to 20. Okay. So since this is plus, we can just drop the parentheses. Equals 20. We can combine those two. 3x plus 1x is 4x. So we have 4x minus 8 equals 20. Add 8 to both sides. Those two cancel out. So you have 4x equals 28. Divide both sides by 4. You have x equals 7. Of course, you're only part of the way done. We still have to find our 3x minus 8. Okay, which gives us 3 times 7 minus 8, or 21 minus 8, which is 13. X equals 13. Well, not x equals 13, just 13. Okay, so we have our numbers 7 and 13, which works out pretty good. Anyone get something different? Oh, okay. Oh, and okay. So say, for example, want to find the length. Uh-oh. Left out n. Of a rectangle. Given that the perimeter is 192 feet. And the length is 3 times wider than the width. Oops, move that up a little bit. Okay. So with this one, you have to kind of go back to the formulas from previous courses. The perimeter of a rectangle, if we make this our width, that our width, this our length, that our length, or the other way around, doesn't matter. You're just going to add the length plus the length plus the width plus the width. Or you can combine those two and make it 2L, and combine those two and make it 2W. So we know that our perimeter is equal 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay. So just based off what they gave us, the perimeter is equal to 192 feet. And we know that the length is 3 times the width. So our width, we can just make that equal W. And our length equals 3 times the width. You know, that's just going to be 3 times W. Okay, so we have our perimeter, we have our width, and we have our length. Oops, sorry about that. So from there, we just plug them in. So if the perimeter is equal to 2 times the length, it's 2 times the width, and we know that the length is 3 times the width, we can just replace that L with 3 times W. Plus 2 times the width. That means our perimeter, which we know is 192. You have 2 times 3, which is 6W, plus 2W. Okay. So if we go ahead and just combine those two, that'll give us 8W. Okay, so 192 equals 8W. Divide both sides by 8. You end up with a width that equals 24. Okay. But remember, they wanted to know the length, not the width. So to find the length, we know that the length just from up here is equal to 3W. Why did I do that, Admiral? Which is equal to 3 times 24, which is equal to 72. Okay, so that will be your final answer. All right. So any questions on that one? All right. Got one more example, and I'll let you up out of here. So, let me close this door up. All right. Okay, so let's say, for example, suppose the length of a rectangle is 4 times the width. Okay. If the area is 900 square feet, then what is the width of the rectangle? Okay. Now remember that the perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. I'm basically just adding all the sides together. But the area equals the length times the width. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is the formula we're going to use. Okay, so we know that we'll say the width, we'll let that equal W. Okay, and they told us that the length is 4 times the width. So we're going to make the length, which is equal to 4 times the width, equals 4 times the width, or just length equals 4W. Okay. And we also know that the area is 900 square feet. We don't need the square feet, we just need the 900. There we have our width, we have our length, and we have our area. So all we have to do is plug it into that formula. So area equals length times width. So we know our area is 900. So we have 900 square feet equals your length is 4 times the width. and your width is just W, some unknown value. Okay, so just like x times x is x squared, W times W is W squared. And just because of my own personal quirk, I'll move my variables to the left. You don't have to. Okay, so we divide both sides by 4. Yeah, W squared equals 225. Now you can just square root both sides. You can move the 225 over and do difference of squares. Either way you decide to factor or solve that one is completely up to you. But if you do that, you end up with W equals plus or minus 15. You can't really have a negative width, so we don't need the minus. So positive, we'll move that up a little bit. Only. So the width is equal to 15. Okay. Now we don't have to plug that in to find the length because all they wanted us to find was the width. So if all they wanted to know was the width, that's all we have to give them is the width. Now if you want to find the length, you could, but you don't have to. Oh, move that up a little bit. Okay. All right. So are there any questions on this one? Kind of, sort of, somewhat makes sense. All right. Okay, so we will stop there. If you have any questions, feel free to hang back and ask away. Did everyone sign in? Oh, there you go. If there are no questions, I will see you Wednesday.